I was asked the other day, how do I begin to get to know myself? What are some questions I can ask myself to get to understand who I am? I put a series of questions out to just kind of get you started on what kind of questions to ask. For a long time, I wasn't aware of what to ask. I just had to sit in my stillness most days and try to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing here, really, and how is I'm going to find out what that is. And so what I realized is that if I don't know who I am, I can't figure out my purpose for being here. So I started with a series of questions that led me in all sorts of directions. I can tell you that one question may need to lead to another question and another question and another question. But this is why we call it digging deep, right? So one of the questions I ask is what matters to me? And in asking this question, I think we have to figure out what are the things that we absolutely can't live without. What are the things that define us in some ways that are the same or different from those around us? What are the things that are going to leave a legacy about us once we depart, right? So for me, what matters most to me has changed as I evolved through my life. So I think you have to look into your life and figure out what mattered to you in your 20s may no longer matter to you in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on. What matters to you now didn't matter to you then. So I would think that in exploring this question, you want to really take some time. Some of these questions are not something you're just going to pop out and ask the question and then you come up with an answer and then you move on to the next question. It takes some marinating, if you will. It takes some sitting with the question in a way that's going to challenge you to think about it a little deeper. So don't just ask the question and dig a little deeper into what the question means to you. I can tell you what matters to me now, for the most part, has changed over the years. So before, certain things mattered to me and I was able to skirt around them, if you will, or ignore them when it comes to certain people or situations. But that changed for me because it was not filling me up. And it was putting me in a space of sadness or depression, or it was making me question my worth and my value. It was challenging me on levels that I did not want to be challenged. Part 2.